Hello everybody and welcome to Chess of Blades. I got a little itchy ear, but that is not gonna stop us from figuring out this mystery. So let's continue, shall we? Deep breath in, deep breath out. October 10th, let's go. Again, we left off at a really weird place, so we left off after we talked to Shrek, right? Let us continue. Sighing, I return to Franz's side, mulling over this new clue. A nervous feeling curls in the pit of my stomach when I compare the fighter's description of the maid to the woman I met earlier. Hello.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I'm just gonna walk through here. Excuse me. I should be a voice actor. Why am I not getting paid for this? A tall guard irritatedly elbows his way past us, and I realize with some embarrassment that we're standing in the middle of a busy path. I grab Franz's wrist and tug him a little bit out of the way, offering an apologetic nod to the guard as he shuffles past.
What do you think about all this then, Franz? Franz?
Franz? Where'd he go? Darling? You okay, boo? When an immediate reply doesn't come, I inquisitively glance over to the tall man, who seems to be lost in thought. His eyes are forced in a distance toward the same direction that annoyed guard stalked up. That was a sudden change. I was reading and all of a sudden I just burst out laughing. I saw this little fruit fly come towards me, landed on my nose, and flew off. Like I've been watching him for a good 30 seconds and he just boop and then laughed. It was really weird. I wish I had a camera or something. You guys could have seen that because I made the most glorious face, I'm sure. I nudged his side impatiently, and he blinks for a moment before directing his emerald eyes. A little fruit fly. That was a nice kiss you gave to my nose. I appreciate it. Emerald gazed down at me.
Ah, kitten. As much as it pains me, I believe I'll need to leave your side.
Don't you fucking do it.
Can you stay out of trouble until I'm back?
You take me with you.
Fine. Whatever you wish. I suppose I'll see you when I see you.
Fine. Go play with your pals. I don't care. His response surprises me a little, so my words come out sounding somewhat surly. Franz pauses, lips curling in a devilish smirk. You gave him something to work with. How dare you, Rivian?
Has parting become a sweet sorrow? You
No.
don't seem as keen on getting rid of me this time.
Oh, I don't care.
You're just my bodyguard, you know. Don't go getting a swell head.
That was a crisp click of a can. My flustered reply, Illicites? I don't know what that word is. A chuckle from Franz, who lowers himself in a bow. My vocabulary is so small. A moment later, he slips off into the crowd, and I lose sight of his broad back in the sea of people. Where is he going off to so suddenly anyway? He seemed fairly distracted. Some kind of idea popped into his head. Disconcerting. Feeling a little disheartened, I slowly make my way back to the castle, shoving my hands moodily into my pocket. Whatever. The afternoon sun beats down on me heavily, helping to sap away my previous energy and enthusiasm. So sad without the bow. It's hard to shake a sense of frustration from having all these pieces that don't fit together too. And I have no idea who my opponent is, even though I sense some of the moves they're making. More importantly, do I even have an opponent? I've only been going off with Franz's word that I'm being targeted. Maybe I'm just deluding myself into a sense of danger when nothing's really there. Sorry. But there was that note that Hazel gave me earlier. I forgot to ask Franz what he thought about it, but perhaps it's better I didn't. It's probably related to what happened before, though I doubt it could be from the murderer. It seems too blatant a trap. Damn it, this is all too confusing. Oh, that was creepy. I gloomily pushed my way through the castle doors and into the main hall, intent on returning to my room solitude for at least a little while. Social gatherings are bad enough without all this deadly intrigue layered on top.
Ah, sir. May I speak with you for a moment?
Said Silas. Yay! I turned to see Silas approach me from one side of the hall, his long strides carrying him forward quickly.
Hello, Silas. What is your fastidious self up to this fine afternoon?
Fastidious self? Silas's brow creases slightly, his expression indicating some degree of concern.
Lady Valora came to me just a few minutes ago, seeming quite distressed. She asked to speak with you, but as I did not know your whereabouts, I directed her to your room instead. I'm afraid I opened it using the servant's spare key. I hope it was not too invasive of your privacy, but Lady Valora was very distraught indeed.
Who the fuck is Valora again? Oh, lovely. I suppose glasses gave her the briefing. Talk about nightmare vacation. I almost feel sorry for her. Who's
Well,
Valora
as
again?
long as you didn't rummage through my underwear drawer, I think I can excuse your invasion of my room.
Oh, Rivian! Calm your shit.
That seems like an action more befitting of Sir Chaumont, if I may say so, sir.
I knew it was Franz's last name, I just had to check. I give Silas a puzzled look at the mention of an unfamiliar name, and he blinks at me curiously.
Sir Franz Chaumont,
Of course I didn't have to
nephew
look, he
of the
told me.
Peruvian king. I had noticed him following you closely since you arrived, despite his tendency to keep a low profile.
My bottom lip feels really weird. I stare blankly at Silas and my jaw agape. Franz is part of a royal family? Nah, just a
beg
cousin.
your pardon, sir. I only remember his identity due to my age. He made frequent visits to our kingdom along with the Peruvian ambassador, you see.
What does your age have to do with anything? Oh. Try to get more information. I can't constrain my curiosity any longer. I want to learn the truth behind Franz's secretive past, even if it comes back to bite me later. I don't know what it could possibly achieve, but if he's going to insist on sticking to me through this whole celebration, I have a right to be interested in his motives, don't I?
Silas, this is important. What else do you know about Franz? Why he's here, who he's with, his friends, his enemies?
The butler looks a little taken aback, but at my not-so-subtle questioning, but his eyes soon glimmer with a sly light.
I am not privy to Sir Chaumont's secrets, I'm afraid, sir. He seems quite taken with you, however. So perhaps you may have some luck asking him yourself.
I doubt it. I silently grip my teeth together in frustration. Silas has to know more than just that. Is he not telling me about the consideration of... telling me out of the consideration of Franz's privacy?
However, he has also shown a great interest towards the young lady Celeste. He has consistently eyed her since the celebration started, I believe.
He's trying to reach my tissues. Good lord. I got him. The perceptive, or maybe just nosy, butler chuckles a little to himself, shaking his head.
Celeste, is it? I see.
A strange uncomfortable annoyance tightens in my stomach when I hear Silas's words. I have to remember Franz's playboy appearance isn't just an act. But why does he keep following me around then? Does he think I'll eventually give in to him just because he's tall and charismatic and good looking and hot and oh my gosh. He's got like a scruff beard going on. Well, he's completely out of his mind. I refuse to waste my time on someone like that, regardless of whether he thinks he has my best interests at heart. I wouldn't be surprised if he's been stringing me along with lies all this time just for amusement's sake, to be quite honest.
Your face has grown rather flushed, sir. Do you require a visit to the infirmary?
No, I'm just mad.
No, nothing like that. I'm fine. I'll be going to my room now, I think. But thanks for your help, Silas.
Of course, sir. Should you need anything, please do not hesitate to request my services.
Can I get a little Silas bell so he can just pop up whenever I need him? He reminds me so much of Sebastian, just a little bit. I offer a slow nod to the butler before turning towards the stairs, closing my eyes with a long exhale. I hardly know what to think anymore. Father, how on earth did you survive playing games like this for 30 years? All this information, misinformation, and conspiracies. It's as if I'm a pawn on a board where I can't see more than one step ahead.
Maybe I should give up the aristocracy and become a monk instead.
Sounds like a good idea. Mumbling to myself, I return to my room with heavy steps, all but dragging my feet as I head down the corridors. On my way, I pass a happily chattering couple, probably on their way down to the festival.
I can't wait until the masquerade ball. Are you going to romance me like a mysterious stranger, Gerard?
Oh god, I can't even make that noise.
Love. Even in a sea of masks, I've eyes only for you.
Of course, my love. The fuck was it? No. acting, oh god. I cast the cooing pair a sour glance, but they're too enraptured with each other to even notice me. Disgusting lovebirds. I bet he's probably cheating on the girl with his sister or something. Oof! Damn, Rivian, calm your shit. Fishing out my key, I unlock my room door and step inside, about to let out a heavy sigh of relief.
Rivian,
oh
why
god.
in the God's name did you not tell me about this last night?
It's my aunt, isn't it? Yeah, great. I forgot about my uninvited guest. I suppose I should have known she'd be testy over me not giving her all the details earlier. What are we talking about? Valora, who had been primly sitting in the chair by the fireplace, quickly pushes up to her feet and storms over to me.
Ah, apologies, Aunt Valora. I wasn't sure if the Inquisitor was alright with me leaking any sensitive information.
What are we talking about?
Leaking? You know as well as I do that I was to be informed regardless. I've been running around trying to patch up this crisis all morning while you were out goofing around.
I have no job here. What the fuck is your problem? Well, that's just not fair, is it? She's the one who's the foreign advisor. What the hell should I have to do with it?
Actually, I was looking into more details about the murder for my own, private investigation, so to speak.
Oh, really? Well, what did you find out? The King's men are investigating as well, but if no culprit is discovered, things will surely end in a crisis.
I can't help but blink a little at her serious questioning. I was expecting her to blow off my investigation considering how unqualified I am, but maybe she has enough faith in Father to extend to me as little, although I can't help but wonder if it's more of a bad timing than a good one.
Not a great deal, unfortunately. I did glean that one of the witnesses is trying to protect some woman, and one of the maids was seen acting suspiciously close to the time of the murder, however.
One of the maids? Are you sure about that? I'll have them rounded up and questioned immediately.
Don't take my word for it, God.
Wait, let's not be too hasty. Could I not question the girl myself a bit first? I don't think we should rush to conclusions, you know.
Flora gives me a flat, stern glare, her eyes filled with a skeptical glint.
This is a diplomatic disaster, Rivian. If a culprit is not found and punished, we will never be able to repair relations with Proevia.
What the fuck is Proevia? Did she just say the ambassador was from Proevia? Hello? No wonder Franz has been so invested in all of this. As part of the Peruvian royal family. Whoops.
More importantly, I suspect something very sinister is at work here. This incident reminds me of something that happened years ago. Something that involved a group intent on plunging the continent into chaos.
The chilliness in Valora's eyes almost make me shiver. She looks deadly serious, and I sense an ominous undercurrent in her words.
An underground cult known as the Disciples of
Oh god, no, now we're dealing with cults.
Our government for some time now.
Not
they
cults.
Work to destabilize authority, and though we don't know what their true aim is, they are dangerously skilled at what they do.
We're dealing with cults now? I have stepped into a territory I was not expecting to step into. I want to step right out, too.
You think one of their members killed the ambassador, then? Do you think they'll try to strike again?
Her lips press together tightly, and she lowers her voice a little.
I suspect they will. And for your own sake, you had best stop interacting with foreigners at this gathering any more than necessary. We can barely trust those inside our own borders at present, and anything you do may be turned against you.
I swallow, averting my gaze a little uneasily. Now I think about it, Glasses probably complained to her about Franz's appearance last night, and I'm sure she knows who he is. Valora watches me keenly for a moment, and somehow I glimpse the same determination in her eyes that I've so often seen on Father's face. Soon, though, she sighs and smooths out her clothes a little, taking a few steps towards the door.
Now I'm going to see about this questioning of the maids. We are sorely lacking in evidence, so I intend to hunt down every bloody clue that I can find. Inform Linnaeus should anything else come to light, Rivian.
I need, like, something to write this down with, but I have no pen. Linnaeus, goddamn.
And make sure not to blemish your father's name by getting caught up in anything else unsavory. The last thing your family needs is a scandal.
Anything else? What have I done? I haven't done nothing. Except to answer the door butt naked? I mean, what? With a Philippine comment, yeah, the old woman offers a sigh before leaving my room, slamming the door behind her.
Old bat.
With a mixture of anxiety and anger, I fold my arms over my chest and pace around the chamber. Franz. Could he really be involved in this a deeper way than I know of? I'm starting to wonder what else he hasn't told me. And if he knows of these disciples... Oh god, cults. Or if he could even be one of them. I'm not prepared for this! After making sure my door is locked, I head over to the bed and lower myself down to sit on the edge, fishing out the piece of paper from my pocket. I hesitate for a moment, but finally unfold it to scan over the contents once more, swallowing the foreboding feeling in my throat. Meet me tonight, alone. I have a warning for you. Did we read that part before? I don't remember that. Despite how clearly dangerous this is, I can't shake the feeling that it's something more than a trap. If someone had really wanted me dead, surely they could have slipped poison into my tea this morning, since apparently I didn't notice them sneaking up behind me. More importantly, meeting this person seems like the only way I can get some answers, or at least a clue to what's going on. Maybe I can ask Silas to wait nearby or something just for safety's sakes. Get that butler some butter knives and forks and he'll just beat a bitch's ass. I'd ask Franz, except, well, his familiar manner pushed down my hello? His familiar manner pushed down my guard more than it should have. I think I've been trusting him far too much. Besides, there's probably some truth to what my crone of an aunt was saying, maybe planning to betray me when it's most convenient.
Oh, stupid games.
So stupid. With a yawn, I fall back on the bed, stretching my arms out as I sink into the fluffy duvet. The early evening sun lazily gleams in through the window, just bright enough to make me feel comfortably warm. My eyes flutter closed. In the blackness that follows, images from today and last night replay themselves. Blemish my father's name. Ha, or blemish. I'll find this culprit, and I'll show Valora and Father that I can live in this cutthroat world as well as they can. And then, I'll take a nice long nap. As you are now. So chilly. Where's the blanket? My eyes still closed, I fumble around for the covers hazily. Wait a moment, I'm not under my blankets. Where's my damn blankets? My blankets! Abruptly, I force myself upright, glancing around in confusion. Outside my window, the sky is dark. Bloody hell, I must have fallen asleep after I came back from the festival. Where are my blankets?
Shit!
Where are my blankets, though? Pushing off the bed, I hastily smooth my clothes and hair out, shaking my head to clear the residual drowsiness. I hope I'm not too late for this meeting. To be fair, they did say tonight without any indication of time, so they better still be there.
God bless my narcoleptic soul.
God bless. After making sure I look at least mostly presentable, I slip out into the corridor, closing my door behind me with a soft click. It's almost eerily quiet, leading me to believe most everyone's already retired to their rooms. I've been so used to hearing the corridors filled with chatter streaming in from the main hall that the silence makes me feel a little uneasy. My footsteps echo back to me in an ominous rhythm as I start to unthinkingly hold my breath as I walk along. It's so dark!
Light.
Oh.
Heading to a midnight meeting with your secret lover.
Excuse me, who? You are so close to the microphone, though. The voice of a girl passing by makes me nearly jump out of my skin. I can't even see where she is in the thick darkness, but the voice doesn't resemble anyone I know. She seems to be chewing on something, though, and it smells like one of those delicious cakes I had at the festival earlier.
Are you going to play with some mysterious man? You should be careful. Everyone has so many hidden secrets.
I like how she automatically assumed I was gay. Thanks.
Ah, yes, well,
do I look like
have a
that?
pleasant evening.
Is that what I look like, really? Is that who I am to you? You just assume! With a flustered bow to the unease maiden. Unseen. Sorry, not unease. I turn and sprint in the opposite direction, clenching my teeth together. Her gulping was really getting on my nerves, and her chewing, oh god. Probably just some drunk noble girl returning to her room, but being reminded of secrets makes my mood immediately darken. She's not wrong. Franz is probably keeping more secrets from me than I can count. Before long, I arrive at the grand staircase leading into the main hall. This place, too, is completely silent and pervaded by thick darkness, to the point where it's practically unrecognizable from its glowing beauty during the day. I know it's silly to be so put on edge by a different atmosphere, but I'm ruffled enough from this whole walk into a potential trap business that I'm allowed to be a little bit of a scaredy cat.
Any ghosts listening, speak now or forever hold your peace.
We're so funny. We cover our fright with humor. Goosebumps break out on my skin and I descend the stairs and trot toward the side corridor Emily told me about earlier, glancing over my shoulder. Now and then the various noises of light. Did I say light? Night. Of light! The noises of light! Let's hope no one follows me down here. I'm not sure what would be worse, being shanked in the back or being called out for acting like a boy without his teddy bear. Oh boy. Inside a dark hall, I wind my way past various rooms, all of them clearly functional and less ornate than the guest chambers upstairs. I peek into a number of them to try and spot a portrait that was mentioned in the note, but I can't seem to find one. I huff to myself and anxiously comb through more and more seemingly endless rooms, losing my way for a good few times. A good sense of direction never was my strong suit. Couldn't they have at least drawn me a map on the back of this damn note?
Ah, is this the place?
There's no one in here. At last, while walking past an open door, I notice a large eye-catching painting inside the room. I'm just so messed up because I'm so excited to see what's happening. The pompous crown certainly gives it away, so this must be the one. Holding my breath, I tentatively step into the chamber, my eyes darting around to catch any trace of movement. It seems surprisingly empty, however, save for the plethora of crates and boxes.
Hello?
Barrels.
Anyone else here for a late-night rendezvous?
Look how happy he is, like it's normal. When no reply immediately comes, my heart falls in my chest. Am I too late? Did I miss my chance to finally glean some information?
Oh, you're here.
Yeah. I unconsciously yelp and jump around to face the source of the voice, which stems from a shadowy corner. Hello, dear. My gaze falls on a slender girl sitting on the ground who pushes herself up to her feet as she watches me with a frown.
Celeste? You wrote this note?
Of course I did. Next time, though, could you not make me wait further, please? I fall asleep on the cold floor, you know.
As if her comment was expected to inspire some deep sympathy or guilt inside me, Celeste pouts, shivering theoretically.
Well, bring a blanket next time, then. And be more specific with your...
You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit. I can't help but feel a little disappointed and annoyed. This girl, surely she can't have any real information about what's going on. Well, I meant briefly, but she seemed a bit, well, airheaded.
How horrible you are. And here I was, trying to help you. I only met you once, but you made my heart flutter enough that I wanted to warn you.
Warn me? Warn me about what, exactly? The upcoming fashion trends or latest hairstyles?
Stop being a little bitch, Rivian! Celeste sighs heavily, shaking her head. Gets closer. Then, after hesitating for a moment, she steps a little closer, motioning for me to lean down. I reluctantly comply, tilting my head to let her quietly speak into my ear.
I didn't tell you this before, but my father's an ambassador, you know. He knows lots about what's happening, especially because he's good friends with your Inquisitor.
Mine? I blink, my nose wrinkling at the mention of... I cannot believe I forgot his name again. I am such a fucking mess. More importantly, though, does that mean Celeste is aware of what happened yesterday?
My father survived several sabotage attempts from a cult called the Disciples of Ignatius. And he thinks they killed the Peruvian ambassador to stop the alliance talks going on.
Alliance talks? Don't tell me there's been some sort of secret meeting going on behind all this.
Of course, Papa said the party was a ruse, to get ambassadors and nobles from a few countries together to feel out a partnership. Through now, obviously. Matters do tend to do that.
Yeah, probably. Now that I think about it, what Celeste says makes sense. It's not a coincidence, then, that people with important positions like Glasses and Valora are here. Speaking of Valora, she must have known about the talks, not to mention the purpose of the whole party. Wonder what her role in all this is.
I'm still confused as to how you're involved, though. Do you just eavesdrop on your father's business all day?
Celeste gives me a hurt look for a moment, but then her expression turns a little serious.
Actually, I saw the murderers last night.
I stare at her intently, trying to see if she's playing around or obviously lying, but the girl seems completely
I
honest.
was walking out for a bit of fresh air after dinner, when suddenly I spotted 2 figures crouching in the bushes. I couldn't make out who they were, only that one was big and wearing something unusually bulky, and the other was much smaller. They didn't notice me, thankfully, because they were talking to each other. I saw you too, walking on the other side of the bushes. Didn't you hear them at all?
I can feel the blood draining from my face a little as Celeste recounts her story. Those people whispering, I did hear them right before I encountered Arden,
But
didn't I?
how'd you know they were murderers? Some shady whispers don't mean they're criminals.
Well, when I started suspecting that something was happening, I hid in the bushes myself. That was when the ambassador came outside. We must have been tricked by one of them because he was completely alone. He headed deeper into the gardens, past where you'd been standing. And when I looked back to the figures, they had disappeared. I had a bad feeling about it, so I went to tell one of the guards. And sure enough, they found the ambassador dead soon after.
An unsettled expression comes across... What is that? Oh. Comes across Celeste's face as she lowers her gaze. Although something about her personality tells me she's probably familiar with such grisly things considering her father's important position.
The murderers didn't see you then? Do you think you're safe?
I'm quite sure I am, but I know they noticed you, Rivian. They stopped whispering when you came close, and they watched you after your cute friend walked up. It's a good thing he found you, honestly. Either way, I think they suspect you saw them, or at least know about them. And one of the new friends I met here told me he accidentally involved you in things last night.
I swallow, feeling a small bead of... perspiration poured along my hairline. Sorry, I was like rubbing my forehead, like, there's so much going on! Franz guess may have been right. Perhaps they're looking for me after all.
Your new friend, eh? Are you talking about that bratty, stammering boy, Alistair?
He's not bratty. What?
Don't talk about him like that. He's such a darling little thing. Although, he's keeping some kind of secret, I think. He got all nervous when I asked him some questions, and stammered something about protecting someone.
Well, that sounds familiar. The boy definitely has more information than I need. I just have to find some way to get it out of him.
Anyway, I just wanted to tell you to be careful. If the disciples are behind this, they won't want to leave behind anyone who can know their identities. You could be in real danger.
Ah, that's just lovely. Well, Celeste, you best watch out for yourself too. You might have been spotted as well, and it seems like you saw much more than I did.
She's like, don't worry, I've been through this before. She's our little giggle, shaking her head confidently. I'm really starting to doubt whether she takes this all seriously enough. Life or death matters should not induce
I
giggling.
can take care of myself. Besides,
Get down!
Hello? When an urgent yell suddenly cuts through the air, I instinctively grab Celeste and pull her down to the floor. The fuck is going on? A split second later, a large crossbow bolt thunks into the wall. Why? This is a good place to end it. This is a good place to end the episode. I'll see you all next time. Thank God we're still alive. Yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!